Good evening. I'm Brooks Compton, Mayor of the City of Centerville, and we have just completed our council meeting for October 17, 2016, which was our 17th meeting of the year. The meeting was called to order at about 7:40. An invocation was given and a pledge of allegiance to the flag was presented by all of those in attendance this evening, and we had quite a few people here this evening. Karen, our clerk of council, took a roll call. Councilman Palcher was a little under the weather this evening, so he did not appear, and his absence was excused from the meeting this evening. We took action on the previous council meetings, our formal council meeting of September 19, 2016, and action on our previous work sessions of September 19, 2016, October 3, 2016, and October 10, 2016. There was one notation to our work session on October 3 of 2016, and Mr. Beals had to be out of town and was not available for that meeting on that evening. Karen advised us that there were no communications, and then we had a presentation from the United Way Dayton area president. It's Tom Maltzby. He is the president and CEO of the United Dayton Area United Way, and also Catherine Myers, who is the community outreach coordinator. And both Catherine and Mr. Maltzby talked about what's a program which the City of Centerville is a pilot program through the City of Centerville and 3 other cities for what's referred to as Silver Link. And the Silver Link program is a program that provides essentially a helpline for seniors who might have questions with respect to services that are available, needs that they might have, food needs, medical needs, transportation needs. And it basically, SilverLink operates as a clearinghouse to provide that information to any senior that would like to have information regarding any of the potential services that are around provided in this area. The City of Centerville recognizes that we have a lot of individuals who have grown up in this community. They bought their first homes in the 60s and 70s. They now are in need of some of those services, so it's a good place through SilverLink to be able to provide them that information for those services. So we had a nice presentation, as I say, by Mr. Maltzby and also by Catherine Myers on behalf of that. Next, the City Beautiful Commission had its presentation of the Summer Landscape Award winners for 2016. And that's for the months of July, August, and September. And those items will be available on our website, and you can see that in our formal meeting through the MVCC, the full meeting, the different presentations that were made in each of the award winners and their location. So there were during each month we award 7, and then we have a Community Pride Award winner for each month, and then we also have a Mayor's Award. And the Mayor's Award this year was for Jan and Ted Frederick on 430 Island Lake Drive over in the Rose Estates area. So if you get a chance to see all the award winners, it'll be on our website, the Centerville website, and also will be on the formal meeting at the mvcc.net, which you can see for October 17 meeting. Then we had officials' reports. The initial report is given by the mayor, and I talked a little bit about recognize the volunteers. At Yankee Trace, we had the volunteers recognition event and a golf outing for those who volunteer at Yankee Trace today. On October 17, had a beautiful day for it. It was a very nice event. We recognize that Karen Andrews has been with us for 9 months now, and how great she is to work with, and all the council agrees to that. The recognize that there had been some additional work done on Route 48. The resurfacing was completed. I think most people are very pleased with that now that it's a very smooth surface, and complimented Doug Spittler and Public Works Department for completing that project in a very, very efficient manner once they got started. Also this Saturday, you may, in the summary of the meeting, and maybe after the fact, but this Saturday on October 22nd, the Centerville Jazz Band has a community night at the Elk Stadium, and this really should be a very nice event. They're going to show their 2016 competition show starting at 6:30, so if you hit this summary before then and have a chance to go this Saturday, please do. It'll be a good show. They've been a very successful band in our area for years, and we're very proud of what they've done over the years. So if you get a chance to see that this Saturday, go ahead and be there at 6:30. But they're also going to have A food truck vendors will be there, and other events will be there starting at 4 o'clock. So from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock, you'll have an opportunity to be up at the event at the stadium. Joanne Rao, Belinda Kenley talked a little bit about the meeting that we had with Heart of Centerville, an opportunity to get together and discuss some of the issues that are concerning to the merchants, the owners, and the tenants there in the Heart of Centerville, the APD district. And they talked a little bit about that and some of the plans that we have to get together, review some of the concerns they have, and address some of the items, and to keep that a vibrant area. So look forward to hearing information about that. There'll be a lot that comes out in the next couple months as to some of the thoughts and processes that we're going to pursue for the Heart of Centerville and the AP district. Mentioned just briefly that Greg Horn and I attended a mayors and managers meeting up at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base last week, and it was a very good meeting about showing the really significant economic impact that Wright-Patterson Air Force Base has in our community. They have over 27,000 people working there with a payroll of $2.2 billion. It was a very helpful meeting to just kind of refresh ourselves of how important they are, what an important element they are to our community. And then I just mentioned also, if you're getting a chance to see this summary, that we have 2 or 3 meetings coming up starting next week, 2 next week and 1 the following week, regarding issue 3. And those will be informational meetings where I have an opportunity to discuss and ask questions about issue 3, which council placed unanimously on the ballot for November 8th, which is a 0.5 earned income tax increase, taking our earned income tax, city earned income tax, from 1.75 to 2.25%. Those informational meetings will take place Monday, the October 24th, starting at 6:30 at Bethany Lutheran Village. Wednesday, October 26th, also starting at 6:30 at St. Leonard's. And November 1st, 6:30 in the ballroom at Yankee Trace for Yankee Trace residents and all residents throughout the community. So if you get a chance to attend, that'd be a good opportunity to ask any questions and find out a little bit more about what's being asked for in issue 3. The next were council reports, and a couple items came up. Belinda Kenley talked a little bit about the Business Advisory Task Force. Councilman Engert mentioned his participation in the Bike Centerville committee meetings that have been taking place. And Mr. Beals talked a little bit about MVRPC and some of the items that are coming before MVRCP. Those were all in our council member reports. Then in the city manager's report, Mr. Horn talked a little bit again, emphasized about all the work that's being done at Wilmington Pike and also on Route 48, how that was completed in a timely fashion, and again recognizing the hard work of Public Works and also the staff in completing all the work that's related to Route 48. In addition, Mr. Horn made a presentation, an informational presentation about issue 3, some of the impact of the change in the state legislature actions, and also the significant impact that the reduction in revenue received from the state is, and how it's impacting the city of Centerville from its costs, from the standpoint of increased costs for road resurfacing and things of that standpoint, and how those changes will ultimately have a long-term impact if the city doesn't take action by putting this on the ballot and also passing issue 3. Greg just gave the informational part of that, as he is prohibited by our charter from a particular endorsement of that, but he gave a very thorough presentation on why those items included in issue 3 or the request is very important for the city. Then we went on to the report of the Planning Commission, and these are items, there were 4 items, and these were all items, different ordinances that addressed various aspects of the Unified Development Ordinance. Each particular ordinance took apart few items and broke it down so that all 4 of them were items that were cleaned up to make sure that the Unified Development Ordinance is acting in the fashion that we wanted it to when we passed it initially. Mr. Rodney's went through a great deal of effort to bring those changes forward to us and amendments, and we spent a lot of time discussing those, and we did approve all 4 of those ordinances tonight to bring the Unified Development Ordinance current. We had an interesting discussion on that. Mr. Beals has a lot of input, being his background as an engineer, into those items, and all good discussion during the course of those items. So if you get a chance to watch the meeting, there's a lot of interesting comments and discussion with respect to all 4 of those items. Then we went on to standing committee reports. We had no standing committee reports tonight, and we did not have any other items on the agenda, which led us to the consent agenda. And the consent agenda is items that come before council, not considered to be items in controversy, but any council member may remove a consent agenda item from the consent agenda to be considered separately. So in this case, we just had one item that's setting a public hearing relating to a tax ordinance. That public hearing will be set for November 21st. Then we had one item dealing with a request for funding for a project from Clio Road to Alex Bell Road to Bigger on Clio, and then Clio Road from Bigger to Wilmington. And then there are 2 items that came up with respect to annexation of property on Brown Road, approximately 1 acre, that's ultimately part of the Cornerstone development, which is being annexed to the city of Centerville, so that the city has the ability to control the development of that particular half of Brown Road. And then we appointed a number of individuals back to commissions and boards for the city of Centerville. The consent agenda was approved unanimously. And then we went on to old business. We did not have any old business tonight, and we did not have any citizens' comments. So at that time, we went into new business, which we did not have any new business tonight. So we went on to adjourn the meeting, and we adjourned approximately at about 10:35. So thank you for watching the summary of our meeting. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact any of the council members, or you can go to the city website at centervilleohio.gov, or you can call the city building at 937-433-7151, or, as I say, contact any staff member or any council member with any questions or comments you may have. Thanks for watching, and see you next month.